In this video, we're going to be talking a little bit more about polar coordinates and ways you can designate a point using polar coordinates. First of all, remember that r theta is how we designate a polar coordinates. When theta is positive, we want to measure in a counterclockwise rotation. So on this graph paper, again, remember this is our beginning point. The positive x-axis we usually designate as our beginning point. So for a positive angle, we're going to move in a counterclockwise direction. This is when theta is greater than 0. So positive. We move this way. If theta is negative, we measure in a clockwise rotation. So starting again at our positive x-axis right here, this vector that I've designated, if theta is negative, we'll be moving down or in a clockwise rotation. So this is for thetas that are negative or less than 0. Also, if r is positive, we move forward away from the center point. So if r is positive, we would start at the center point and move away from that point on the vector that we've designated for theta. If r is negative, we move backward. So if we had a negative r value, we would start at the center point, and instead of moving along the vector of the angle, we would move backwards. So let's look at a few points. Again, I'm going to need to mark my positive x-axis as my 0. And then this is my 90. And we can see that this is 30 and this one is 60. That'll be enough for our problems that we'll do. If I asked you to plot 5, 30, would need to go along this 30-degree vector right here, and I would need to move, R value is positive. Oops. My R value is a positive 5, so I'm going to go right on that vector, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that point is right here. Right? Let's plot 5, negative 30. Right? A negative 30 means I'm going to have to go down or clockwise on my rotation. I can see that. Let me move this up here. This is 0, and straight down here is a negative 90 if you were going in the clockwise direction. And so this mark is negative 30, and this mark would be a negative 60. Or they could be, like this could be 330. It just depends on what you're looking at. But a negative 30 then, if I'm plotting the point 5, negative 30, I need to go along the negative 30 vector, and I'm going to go 5 units away from the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5, negative 30 would be here. Right? Let's plot negative 5, 30. So the 30 degrees right here indicates that I'm going to move counterclockwise. I'll be on this 30-degree vector. But the negative 5 says I'm needing to go backwards. So a straight line here, take a ruler or a piece of paper or something that would show you that vector in both directions without all the confusion of everything else going on. My 30-degree vector runs along this line right here. So, and negative 5 means I'm going to go backwards at 5 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this point is negative 5, 30. And then finally, let's look at plotting negative 5, negative 30. Right, our angle of rotation is going to be clockwise 30 degrees. So I'm going to be on this vector. If you lay your paper or ruler along there, you can see that it's over here for positive R values, but it's going to extend over on this side for negative R values. All right, and then a negative 5 means that instead of going out this direction 5 units, I'm going to go backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This point right here is going to be negative 5, negative 30.